Hello everyone and welcome to the Doctor Who review with me, John Parker, and...
Me, Jack Canning. Now, today, Cody will not be joining us as he's busy with other things at the moment, so unfortunately it's just going to be us two doing the review.
Mhm.
Now, today, folks, we are reviewing the third episode of Series 10, Thin Ice, and let me just start off by saying, before we get into the plot, this episode, in its way, was actually pretty good. I did thoroughly enjoy it.
I did too.
Now, this episode follows on from the last episode where they tried to get back to the school, back to present day, but the Doctor kind of ultimately failed, and they've got thrown back to the 1800s. Now, it is a wintry setting. The setting, by the way, the actual environment, the actual location, the design of the entire era, I thought was fantastic. It was similar to what we saw in the 2008 Christmas special, the one with the Cybermen, when
Yes.
David Tennant went only by himself after the situation with Donna. You know, it kind of made me, it reminded me a lot of that kind of feel, which was great, you know, seeing the people interact, you know, seeing time as it was, or more or less loosely based on it. But the basic idea is that people were disappearing through the ice, and that there was this creature that lived underneath it that was consuming people so that it could ultimately make fuel. Now, of course, obviously, the creature wasn't doing this voluntarily, you could say. Of course, as usual, back in the 1800s, with this kind of typical business, if something strange comes along, which does also spell out money, anyone would jump aboard. So, of course, the Sir Cliff, was it Sir Cliff or Sir Clifford? It was Clifford, wasn't it?
I think so. Might be.
Sir Cliff or Sir Clifford, whatever you want to pronounce it. He was the one behind strapping this, what would you call it, like an oversized fish?
Yeah, it looked... I suppose you...
More
I
like
want
a
to say
whale?
prehistoric fish. I
True,
doubt
yeah.
it is, but... Yeah, it was quite a big fish.
It was like a, well, obviously it is going to be a creature from prehistory, I imagine, right? Because I don't think this creature in particular is actually alien,
No.
from what I can remember. However, the,
Could have been a whale. Or a type of whale. Or something, I don't know. It wasn't explained, so...
well, I think the Doctor did kind of think that it was that there was alien involved, but then turned out that there wasn't. So it might be that the creature is very, very, very old, and someone found the right opportunity to seize it and obviously use it for their own personal gain, as this rich guy did.
I mean, at the moment, all we know about the reason why it was down there and why it was taking people is just because it wanted food.
Yes, but
And
also they
and the
used that to create the fuel that it kind of deposited, I suppose.
yeah, and also it trained what I say is it piranhas
Yeah, I know what you mean.
with the lights on their head
To kind of lure people in. No,
yeah.
they're alien. They've got to be alien.
Yeah, would they somehow they've got the ability to cut through ice and then make it reform pretty
Yeah.
quickly,
I
because ice
suppose
doesn't normally freeze that fast, does it?
I suppose that was one thing that was left out of the plot. I suppose you could say what some fans could theorise is that the rift was responsible and allowed the creature to come in, you know, because that has happened before many a times. So it is possible that the big fish is actually alien, along with its companions, and it came through a rift in time and space, like the one in Cardiff. So who knows? That wasn't explained much, but in all honesty, it wasn't a problem, because the way the story did kind of lay out afterwards, it did kind of, I wouldn't say redeem itself, but you know, it prevented people from, well, prevented me myself from judging it, saying, "Oh God, they should have put something more explanation in there or whatever." Right? Now, so yes, the basic idea was that this creature was eating people, and it was being used to create fuel that they wanted to use then to go into space, as the Doctor theorised. But whether that was actually the case, we actually didn't find out. All we know is that that creature has been there for a very long time, has passed, and the secret of it has passed through many generations. So no one knows how long it's been there, or what the original purpose was for it being captured. But one thing in this story, which I believe you've also mentioned, John, is more or less ethical history.
Yes.
The way, do you want to just pick on that slightly from what you've said before?
Well, basically, they've touched upon the fact that back then, obviously, racism was a thing, and
Yeah,
and of course, you'll notice actually throughout the episode they didn't really touch on it too much, apart from the main point being when that man brought quite vulgar comments towards her,
to Bill.
and and then the doctor, oh, the punch, I loved that. But yeah, I like it when TV shows or films bring up those topics and then combat them quite elegantly. I did like that. That was a good thing.
I mean, yeah. I could pretty much see that some people are going to backlash against that or throw some backlash against it.
But they shouldn't do, because it was touching on a subject that people are aware of that back then existed.
Yeah. I mean. I'm not going to pretend I know everything. Well, I don't, actually. I don't look into that kind of history. But I'm not sure if people of that ethical... obviously, you see, you can't put it any way without the worry of offending someone, you know.
Yeah.
But
being offended is the problem. It's just that people...
Yeah, but hopefully people won't really get into that too much. But either way, you know... they did do a good job of bringing that up, because it is true, it is what happened, and in a way, yes, the whole kind of idea of racism still does exist, but at least from that specific point in time to now, that era, should I say, is what kind of brought the idea that, hey, these comments were made, the way we condescend these people because of, you know, their ethical, because of their race. You know, there's a problem here. We need to stop this. We need to pack it in, right?
So who has been actually touching touchy subjects recently quite a bit. I mean, we've not only got the racism thing of this episode, but we also are aware that Bill is portrayed as lesbian. So that's another thing that they've added. Yeah. So you know, it's a good thing that the writers are doing this.
Yeah. No, it is good. Yes. But that subject still confuses me, because we had John Barrowman, who was obviously gay.
Yeah,
you know?
Some people saying. Yeah,
I mean,
some people were saying
he'd go for anything. You know.
In the show he was effectively pansexual.
In a way, yeah.
You know, he was. So I don't understand why they're saying that she was the first companion, because I'm sure Captain Jack was portrayed as that.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I don't know. Either way, it's not something worth going into, because obviously it's irrelevant for now. But of course, it is important, and it is a good thing that Doctor Who does kind of bring up this kind of these topics, because it does also make the younger generations aware that, you know, these things do exist. You know, people do discriminate people because of, you know, how they feel inside and because of what they look like, and that, you know, it is wrong, and we all as a species need to grow up from that. So it is important, and it is a good thing that Doctor Who kind of brings up these things so we can learn from them and better ourselves. Now, characters, obviously, as you all are aware now, Peter Capaldi's version of the Doctor has more or less has grown to us. I love him. I think he's great. Yeah,
I do like him.
Obviously, his character's never fully developed, so we won't be mentioning him as much until probably the series finale, of course, when it comes to regeneration. But obviously, the main important person who obviously from episode 1 and is going to be talked about well through the entire series, obviously Bill. Now, like we saw last time, we saw a brand new other side to Bill. You know, a bit more of a temperament side to her. Which I thought she brought about a lot better than she did in the last episode.
Yeah, I mean, like the time when the boy was dying.
Yeah.
And he was holding the screwdriver in the eye. She saw her face, and she showed pure hatred over what had just happened, and it was very forceful to the Doctor the way she looked and spoke.
And I mean, she was also she was interrogating the Doctor, asking him how he could just look as he does and just walk away and turn his head and that's it, move on, right? So I think at the same time, she's learning more. But at the same time, she is understanding too. Because from what I could tell, yes, she was distraught by what happened, but she kind of picked up the fact that the Doctor mentioned that you have to move forward to save lives. Otherwise, if you dwell in what just happened, more people are going to die anyway. So
Yeah.
it's better to move on and deal with the situation rather than just stay behind.
Mm.
Which is a fair point, and I think she actually did kind of see that in her own way. So that in itself was a good thing for me. So we saw a different side to her, a temperament side, but a more... Bill is a lot more intelligent than we give her credit for.
Yeah. I thought originally that she would be portrayed as, just a standard teenager kind of thing. And
Yeah,
it wasn't going to go very far. But no, they've expanded her character far past the boundaries I thought they were going to.
I want it to be different. I mean, people do. Some people have suggested that she's the new Martha. I hope not, because Martha was great. I loved Martha to bits, right? But we don't need a repeat of a character we've already had.
Yeah.
You know? So hopefully that isn't going to be the way
I think
she develops.
she is, because she's. I mean, she's unique like any other companion has been. It's just, yeah. I think they've really expanded her character.
No, Bill just lives her life the way she sees fit. Martha worked for most of her life to become a doctor, a fully trained medical physician. So, but yeah, there is a certain difference there. But no, hopefully we are going to see more of this change. I'm pretty sure we are. There's no doubt about that. And the next episode in particular, when the Doctor meets Bill's friends, because I think from what I've read in the episode description for next week's, Bill knows who these people are, apparently. So that is also going to be very interesting to see how she develops around her friends, or what she's like around her friends, and of course with the Doctor as well. Now, as for writing, there's not much I can say more than what I've already said. Because basically, I in itself thought the episode was perfect. It was absolutely brilliant. I do think it was well written. I do like it. There's not much I can complain about.
I do have two things to say. Well, sorry, no. I have one thing to say specifically about the writing. For both this episode and I think the last, the Doctor has repeatedly said that he's 2,000 years old, or just over 2,000 years old.
Yep.
Anyway, in the past, in David Tennant's Doctor, he said he was about 900 and something.
Yep.
Now, for how long we've known, for how long since David Tennant's Doctor, Peter Capaldi's Doctor, it couldn't have increased over 1,000 years in age.
It already had. It actually has, in a way, because of three things actually. The first being when after A Christmas Carol, right? That Amy, Rory, and River, and Canton were invited to the beach, weren't they? And I remember when the Doctor said that he was 1103.
No.
Well, after the Doctor got shot on the beach and Amy were met up with the 909-year-old Doctor, right? After they'd gone through all that, I think it was after... what was the episode with Matt Smith and James Corden? The Cyberman one.
The Lodger? No. Was it The Lodger? The other one.
No, the other one.
Closing Time?
What?
Closing Time, was it?
Nope. I can't remember the name of the episode. It's been that long.
It was Closing Time, because that was the one where we were at the shop. And they were the Cybermen underneath the shop.
Sure. Yes, okay, yes it was, thank you. Yes it was.
Closing Time.
Yes, I do apologise, yeah. After that point, the Doctor did a lot of preparation. In order to, obviously prepare for his death, right? But also, I suppose what you can also include is after A Good Man Goes to War, there was a long period where the Doctor was searching for Amy Rory's baby. So you got that. You've got the stuff after Closing Time, right? Which then would have brought him to 1103. Right? Then, what you need to bear in mind is the time of the Doctor, when he regenerated Peter Capaldi. Because bear in mind, the Doctor aged, didn't he? Now, the Doctor doesn't age naturally like we do. He ages over a very long period of time. So have a think about how long he must have stayed on that planet for.
Yeah.
Because if he doesn't age like us, then it must take him, what, hundreds and hundreds of years to get to like an old physically old looking body. an old-looking age, right? So that would have brought him to the end of, I don't know, 1190
Wait,
or whatever.
Didn't he go through that
1100
that prison device?
Yep, and do bear in mind
that was over billions of years, though. Wouldn't that make him like stupid age?
Not really, because there was at least a couple of thousand skulls under the river, if you remember.
Yeah.
Well, then that's at least a couple of thousand.
But he said they were in there billions of years.
I don't remember that. But either
Yeah,
way,
he said he was in there billions.
but either way, we've gone off on one here, which we didn't really want to do. So that can kind of account for that.
There's just a quick extra thing I wanted to bring up. We haven't brought it up yet from the first part of our review, and that is the vault.
Oh yes, the vault.
Yes, the knocking on the vault and Nardol's quite scared face as he was talking.
I think it's obvious to all of us who's behind that vault, to be honest.
Although I was expecting 4 knocks, Jack.
So was I, and I counted. There's only 3.
Oh, although the last knock was 4. It was 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, and the last one was 4 before it cut off the next time.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 in a way. But yeah, either way. So, because we're now at 17 minutes, verdicts. Out of 10, John, what would you give?
Very good episode, very nice written. Some slight weird issues with some things not explained. I don't think sometimes the writers care that much about certain parts of their stories, but bearing in mind, ignoring that, I think this is a really good episode and much better of the last 2, and therefore I'm going to give it a solid 9.
9? Okay.
Yeah.
I agree with your verdict. Perfectly correct. However, I'm going to go a little bit lower than that. So I'm going to give it an 8 of 10. Okay?
Okay then.
So folks, thank you very much for watching our review. We do hope you enjoyed, and we will see you again for the next video of our next Doctor Who Series 10 review. So until next time, see you soon. Bye!
Bye guys!
Thank you folks for watching. If you enjoyed, do please leave a like or comment below on this video.
If you want more, on Jack's side is the last video and the recommended video that we've suggested to you.
To stay tuned for more, on John's right is the link to our channel so you can subscribe, and also we have a link to our website if you want more information about who we are and what we do. Until next time,
Take care, stay safe,
and remember,
let your geeks out. Bye bye guys.